Hello and welcome back to Electronics Gents, and now today we'll talk about insulated screwdrivers and why they are essential if you're working on doing electrical wiring. So I suppose the first question you're going to be asking is, what is an insulated screwdriver and how does it compare to something like just a normal screwdriver? Well, let's just be clear, if you were to stick one of these, a metal screwdriver, into, especially if you're doing electrical testing, well, you're going to kill yourself, aren't you? Because this is going to kill you because this is a conductive material. It's made of metal. Whereas with the insulated driver, we've got part insulation, an insulation over here, an insulation here. So it's safe to stick into a wall of live conductors, otherwise you kill yourself. Now, I want to point out some like this actually have the option to transform into the style you want. So we've got the Phillips head or cross head, and then you got the flat head here, and then you can simply change the driver which way around you want to. Some are just standard, but this one's like being able to change the way you need them to be. And I suppose the second advantage of these is that they are magnetic. So look, this is a magnetic driver. In other words, so I can lift, if I do this, if I lift it up like that, you can see I'm able to lift the screw off. So I'll try it again with this one. Right, this one, as you can see, is not a magnetic one because it doesn't lift the screw. And again, but this one is. Now, the problem with electrics is we all know that electrics can kill, especially at high voltages. So if you're working on, say, 450, 500 volts, it's often common when we're doing electrics that you need to test it with the power on. And granted, yeah, this bin might look conductive. No, not conductive, it'll look insulated. Because it's rubber, plastic. But obviously this part is not. So therefore, as soon as you stick like this, as soon as you try and unscrew the electrics, and not only have you up, but then again, you've got to then mend the whole thing. Not only is that costly, but also you're in the So therefore, with a insulated screwdriver, you prevent all that happening. Because this is all insulation. So not only is the handle insulated, but the main shaft is insulated. There's the little section here that's insulated. On this bit is insulated as well. And I can do the same on the other side when I flip it round. So we've got all insulation, because typically when you're working with electrical screws, it's either going to be crosshead or flathead. So it doesn't really matter what type of driver it is. Generally, they're going to be just these two types. Put that back in. And again, the reason that you might want a magnetic driver is because when you're trying to lift screws up high, so I'll try and lift it up high, like this, then when you come to insert the screw into the hole, then it will just simply go in like this. Whereas if you try with the non-magnetic one, although this one will hold this way as they will fit, as soon as you try and pick it up this way, it doesn't. But this one is magnetic. Because what you'll tend to find is, yes, this one isn't magnetic, but it can still pick up the crosshead screw very well. So you can still hold it this way. You do know, again, that can depend on the type of screwdriver. But with this, magnetic all the way around. And again, if I get the two magnetics, they attract. I notice them being stronger on this section than this section. Obviously, most of it is obviously because this bit is insulated, but yeah, you do know certainly up here where it's a bit stronger and where you touch the blade, you can see if you touch the head, it does allow magnetic things. It has a magnetic contact. Obviously, because with magnets, you have the north and the south pole connected. Obviously, when you put a south and a south or a north and a north together, it repels. But when you have the north and the south, like this, then they magnetically attract, which is what you get with these screws. So that is why. And also a second thing about insulated screwdrivers, you should just use them on electrical work regardless whether you have it off or whether you have it on. Because the reasoning for this is that, say you are doing mains wiring, so you're connecting up your high voltage or your domestic voltage cables and the current based on the thickness of the wires, then the insulated driver is more or less designed for screwing in place and into the terminals, where you off the wire, then you tighten it in place, say a domestic consumer unit or a commercial consumer unit. And one final thing is with the magnetic and the non-magnetic drivers is that, yes, they will both hold the screw if you stick it into the crosshead or the flathead, but the magnetic one means that if you pick it up, it doesn't fall down, whereas with this, it does. So that's another thing. And insulated drivers aren't really that much expensive compared to a standard screwdriver. So in my honest opinion, if you're going to do electrical work, absolutely have an insulated driver, because you'll find you'll fuck yourself if you don't. I hope you found this video useful. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching.